So I'll just type to my trainee, is he ready? And then we'll see what will happen next. Okay, if he's ready, then I will just call him. First thing first, I guess we need to go over the deck list he sent to me. Also, I need to go to the comments section so I can see both the comments on Twitch and Facebook. So at least the chat is visible to me. Other than that, it will be pointless. I mean, I'm still gonna teach the person on the stream who's gonna be there with me on the voice call. But of course, you can ask your own questions, and I will be free to answer them, so no problem.
Hello.
Oh, hello there.
So, how do we do this?
Okay, so first thing first, I will send you. You need to go into the game. Then, okay, I see you in the game already. So yeah. I will send you a watch request. It should appear right now, okay. And then I will be able to see your Shadowverse screen. I mean, it's gonna be delayed by around 10 seconds, but it's not that much of a problem.
Yeah.
Also, to start things off, my English is not perfect, so if you don't understand something, then just tell me to repeat or explain the words.
Okay.
Okay, I'm waiting. It's loading for me at the moment, but okay, I can see your screen currently.
All right. So I've sent the 2 decks that I generally use in rank right now.
Yeah,
but,
I saw the decks.
Yeah, I feel like Brutal Rune is out-tempoing me, especially at the mid-range Shadow deck.
Sure, we'll get to it, but first thing first, I have a question about... Okay, we can go over the Shadow first, if you want to. I mean, so what is like your reason for playing Mint in the deck? Is it some sort of tech card, or it's your preference, or why did you include it in this deck?
Well, I mean, I generally feel like it's just a good value card. It's kind of like if they don't answer it, you get a huge value out of it, and if they do, then it's, I don't know. I don't really have any plans for her actually, so I could theoretically just remove her. If you have any better suggestions.
Okay, so I mean, she's fine, but only if you run the dude, I forgot the name, the 6 mana storm guy who requires 20 shadows and then gets buffed like +10/+10.
Yeah, Deathly Tyrant.
Oh yeah, that was the name, exactly. So he's the one, so that will be probably the only reason to include Mint. But other than that, you generate a lot of shadows already, and as a 4-drop, she isn't really that good. I mean, she is quite fine, but her stats are kinda super. On the turn 4, you'd rather have something that would impact either the board or do something with your opponent creatures, while if you play Mint, she does nothing at all, like on her own. So she's vanilla 3/4, and you can evolve her to trade, but that's like the only thing to her. So you can easily replace her, and there is like a lot of possible choices, a lot of roads that you can take. So you can either strength your early game, so for example Thunderbone Chimera, or the Gourmet Emperor Kaiza, like people in Japan currently are trying the build with this one, with a single one. Or you can go more into the late game phase and then include a second Immortal Tain. So there is like a lot of options that you can replace Mint with. But the other thing is you are running a lot of early game in terms of 2-drops. So you have Unicorn Dancers, but you do not have Lyrials. And that's probably not a good choice currently. So you'd rather replace Unicas with Lyrials, add like Lyrials instead of it. And the other thing is, a lot of people currently are running what was it called? The Demon Eater. The 2 mana that it's something on the board, like sacrifices, and then draws you some cards. So that's another card that you can think about.
Okay. Do you have any suggestions what to replace for the Demon Eater?
Okay, so currently your build is kind of full. So, okay, another thing. If you want to run Lurials, you should run 3 of them. So you can remove one of the Sparta Resurgence. And actually, if you want to play Demon Eaters, then you can just remove Sparta Resurgence and pick up a Demon Eater in its slot.
Okay.
Because it's gonna be synergetic with a lot of your deck. So it has synergy with Bone Chimera, with Attendant Knight, with Lurching Corpse. There's a lot of things that you can take advantage of. And even eating a simple Goblin from a Goblin Princess. Because, okay, Goblin Princess is not played that much, but I still think she's a fine addition most of the time. And she can work just fine. Because there's like a lot of iteration of the Shadow craft builds, so that's fine.
Okay.
So I guess you need to add one more copy of that. You have 39 cards, at least in my screen, but it's delayed, so.
But I have one free. I've played for one more card from the mint that I moved at the beginning.
Okay, so we can simply go and strengthen up your late game. So if you have another Immortal Tain, then you can add Immortal Tain, who will be just a really good addition. Because right now you have strong killer game, you have a lot of removal, and after adding Demon Eater, the Lurching Corpse on turn 2, then you have a lot more options. So you have Demon Eaters and you get Soul Conversion, so 5 cards that can trigger the Lurching Corpse immediately. Which is awesome, and then you just require some drops for late game. So in the current iteration, this deck should be fine. So for the Blood one, because I had question for the Blood one, do you not have more of the Karabos, or you just play one?
I don't have another Karabos.
Okay, do you have vials to craft it?
No, not really. But I don't really use the Blood one that much. It's just something I been experimenting with. So,
okay.
If there's a deck that works without Karabos, then you know.
It's probably gonna be hard because all of the current Blood lists run Karabos, and she's really strong. So if you do not have 3 copies of her, it's gonna hurt you, because even though she's a late game card, she's still something that after playing, she assembles a clock on your opponent, so you have to do something with her. He will get 1 damage every turn, you will get +1 card every turn, and the only alternative to not playing Karabos would be changing the entire Blood deck into the Vengeance Blood. But then again, I don't have any info. If you have any Belphegors, and if you do you have 3 copies of it?
Yeah, I do. I can just make another new one.
Okay, so I mean, if you want to play Blood, it's better to assemble the Vengeance build, because you can probably assemble it completely than playing this sort of build. Because sure, the early game, it's the same, but then you lack the finisher, and it's really important in some matchups, and if you do not draw on this Caraboso, then it's gonna be hard. So, yeah,
Alright, so how does Vengeance Blood do? I made some earlier, but
okay,
I don't have much experience with it.
I can send you a sample decklist on Discord.
Okay.
I have it saved in the image form, but you should be able to recognize the stuff, so it's not gonna be a problem. Okay, let me go to the... Okay, there we have it. Send on Discord. So it's a really simple decklist that revolves around obviously going into Vengeance with the Belphegor and finishing your opponent with Dark General, Emeralda, and such. It's not as powerful as other Blood, but it's probably better than the incomplete build. Also, right now, I wouldn't recommend crafting too many cards, or crafting any at all at the moment. Just wait like 5 days, because then they are gonna announce the changes, the nerfs and buffs. So some cards will be once again up for the full value, and some will be nerfed, so they will be unplayable. It's only like 1 week remaining, so at the end of the month, they're just gonna announce it. So it's better to wait if you do not have enough vials, and then it will just help you amass the collection.
Alright. I'll keep that in mind.
Because if you had like too many vials, then this wouldn't be an issue. But if you said right now that you don't have too much, then it's obviously just better to save them.
Alright. Yeah, I've currently spent my vials on D shift because I've been interested in trying those, so you know. I haven't been using it on ranked though, because I feel like it's more of an unranked kind of deck.
Dimension Shift is really interesting, to be honest. It's a deck that can be played on ranked. It's fine.
The normal, or is it like? Because now I just use the standard flame wraith, whatever, flame destroyer.
Yeah, I know. It's fine. It's just fine. I mean, it's fine in a way that it's not a top tier deck, but it's a deck that you can play and win some games. It's not a total trash tier. Obviously, it's worse than other rune decks, so it's not as good as neutral rune, it's not as good as dirt rune, but it's still there. It's still a deck that you can play and have some success. But this also depends on the metagame you are in, so in different ranks there will be different metagames. So if you are in the meta full of aggro decks that counter Dimension Shift, then it's gonna be troublesome. But if you are somewhere in between control decks, dragon decks, seraph decks, whatever, then it's perfect.
Let's see. My bike, and then I don't think I have the 7-drop for blood.
The Emeralda.
Charge the. I think she's called Emerald something.
Yeah, she's Emeralda Demon Officer,
Yeah,
something like that. Okay, so if you do not have her, then
I do have Soul Dominator and Ice Blade and such.
Yeah, but obviously both of them are not as good as her, because her main power comes not from Storm ability, because if you wanted something like Storm, then the Alucard is fine, but her main power comes from destroying, ability to destroy Amulet and ability to destroy creature. And ability to destroy Amulet is really important, because versus Dragon you can destroy his Polyphonic Roar, which sometimes will be crucial. So if you do not have her, then just don't craft her. There is no need to. At the moment, just refrain for playing, or maybe add something like 2 Alucards, or like I said, 2 Soul Dominators, but then just keep in mind, then the deck is not in its fullest form,
optimal.
So yeah, it's fine, but it's not perfect.
Alright. I mean, I generally play most Shadow, but I've experienced a lot of neutral crafts going Goblin, like curving out into allies and like ruining my tempo.
It's really hard sometimes. Anyway, because we now got the deck, so here is how we should go. So because there's like a slight delay, then I will see things with about 10 seconds later than you, but if you just wait with turns, it's fine. So how I'm doing things with people usually is at the beginning of the turn, you would just tell me what would you do, how would you attack, or what would you just play, and then I will just tell you if it's correct play, if it's wrong, it's not, and how to just proceed with the turn.
Okay.
And obviously, if there is free time in the opponent turn or something, then feel free to ask any of the questions that I mentioned that you can prepare.
Okay. Do I start with the Shadow deck, or?
You can start with any deck you want. I mean, we just prepared Shadow deck, so it's fine if you want to go with it.
Yeah. I feel most comfortable with Shadow, so.
Okay.
How good is Neptis at the moment?
Right now, it's in a really tricky place, so it's a good deck if you manage to meet your matchups. So if you find that you can beat your opponents, like you are lucky with your matchups, then Nept is fine. But if Nept is bricks, so you don't draw correctly or you struggle to beat aggro, then this become a problem. So because meta is unstable, and it's gonna be unstable in a week because the changes are gonna come, the Neptis might be fine after the changes, but no idea how about now. It doesn't see too much of a success. Like, you can see the tournament results from all over the world, and Neptis is not present in this amount as normal midrange bot.
Do I have Demon Eater, Soul Conversion, and Lurching Corpse here? Do I mulligan the Conversion and Demon Eater, or...?
You can mulligan the Soul Conversion, but do not mulligan the Demon Eater, because you want to have one activator for the Lurching Corpse. You are not playing against Sword, okay. He is going first. So if you do not draw your one drop, which you only have 2 of, then you have to play something on the turn 2. So if you play Lurching Corpse into the Demon Eater, not only you will refresh your hand with cards, but also at least remove something from your opponent's board.
Alright. Oh, actually, top deck Skull Beast. That's nice.
Okay, that's awesome.
Okay. So I guess I'll play Lurching Corpse turn 2 against his Lyriel.
Yeah, just do it.
Actually, in his position, do you trade with Lurching Corpse to avoid like more potential removal, or do you just...
in his position, he should trade the Skull Beast. Because if you trade into the Lurching Corpse, you are just doing... he would be just doing you a favor. Because Lurching Corpse would simply self-destruct. While if Lyriel attacks the Skull Beast, you still need to deal 1 damage to Lyriel, and, well, it's just not good for him.
Yeah. Okay, so... turn 3 now. Do I Demon Eater the Lurching Corpse, or do I Attendant?
Okay, so right now, because board is tricky, you should play Attendant. Because you need something on the turn 4 that can deal with your opponent creatures. So if you play Demon Eater right now, sure, you would remove 1 of his creatures, but that's it. Like the turn 4, you cannot play Attendant, evolve it, and attack into his creature because of the condition that Attendant cannot attack normal creature. So if you play Attendant now, then you are free to play Demon Eater next turn, sacrifice something, evolve something. So Attendant would be the play.
Okay.
Because versus Sword, all you want to do is just remove all of his threats, preserve your life total as high as possible, so we want to plan your turns. So we already see that you got turn 5 because you got Cerberus, you got turn 6 if you want to because you got Odil, and you got Death's Breath. So there's like 2 different options that you can then take on the turn 6, and they will all depend on how the game goes. Like how many creatures and how many stuff you will remove from the board.
Okay. So he has like 2 1-drops now that I don't really, or 2 1/1s that I don't really want to hit. Do I still Demon Eater the Lurching, or do I get the Lich from Attendant?
You should get the Lich from the Attendant, so that way he is a 4/4. First thing first, just play Demon Eater to eat the Attendant, so we can see what cards you can draw before doing another stuff. Because he got double of the 1/1s, Eater on the Lurching Corpse is not gonna bring you a profit, because if he loses a 1/1, it's nothing at all. Like his board is just not worth.
Zombie Party and Soul Conversion.
Okay, so that's great
I could
for
Zombie Party the 2/2, or I could Soul Conversion the Corpse, but I don't think that's good.
No, Soul Conversion is not good. You can simply Zombie Party one of the 2 attack things, and then evolve the Demon Eater and destroy the other. So you would leave your opponent with only 1/1s on the board.
There you go.
Because by doing so, you remove the most amount of damage. Also, you are increasing your shadow efficiently, so you're at 4 shadows right now. and there is a high chance that by the turn 6 you will have enough shadows to activate the Death's Breath. And Death's Breath with Necromancy effect is really deadly versus Sword, because he doesn't have too much of a threat to remove all of them.
Okay, so he just played Luminous Mage. And evolved it and traded it into Lich. Do I play Servant Curve or do I Bone Chimera this? To trade and get bodies.
Okay, so right now you just want to have the most value possible out of this turn. So first thing first, you can attack with the Demon Eater into one of the 1/1s, then with the Lurching Corpse into his face, and Soul Conversion on the Lurching Corpse. So this is like 33% chance that you will remove the 4/1, the 2/1, or the 1/1. And depending on...
I got the 1/1.
Okay, so that's unlucky. But what cards did you draw?
I draw Necro Assassin, Erd, and Bone Chimera. I mean, no, just Necro Assassin and Erd. Should I Necro the Demon Eater and then evolve?
Yes, you should, because if you Necro the Demon Eater, then you just remove his entire board and you're guaranteed to have a creature on the board. Because even if you hit the 2/1 with the Necro hit, then after evolve it's a 5/5 and it's enough to get rid of the Luminous Mage with the evolve.
Alright. I hit the Luminous, so that's nice.
Okay, that's good for you.
Alright.
So, just in case, if you didn't draw the Necro Assassin, the play here would be to just play a Bone Chimera and trade into the Luminous Mage. Just to remove a threat from his board.
Okay, so there's a 2/3 ward. Now, should I death or hold deal? Or should I actually just serve?
Okay, so right now there is a lot of options that you can do. Like you see, your hand is quite full with stuff. But Death's Breath is probably the safest play because it protects you from the future turns. So you can use Death's Breath and then evolve one of the zombies and trade. So sure, you are losing your evolution points, but that's not a problem because you got Odil, which is gonna evolve in itself, and you got Ektar for the later turns. Right now, sure, you are losing 3 shadows, but you got Bone Chimera, you got Earth, so you got plays that will refill your shadow count. Also, Cerberus with her spells can be handy. And he shouldn't be able to break through your defense unless he plays some fancy cards like Cyclone Blade, which is something that's not considering playable.
He played White Ridge, better, better Medusa. Oh, I got Soul Squasher. Do I just kill it?
Oh, if you did, then yeah, sounds like a really good play.
Yeah, I feel like I should just Soul Squasher and Cerberus to get value.
Okay, so
trade one of the zombies.
You should Soul Squasher, but then not Cerberus, but Chimera and Lyrial, because you got Ektar in your hand. So this way you can set up a little, after all. Because it goes like this.
And then I trade one zombie, right?
Yeah, you trade one of the zombies. Like, it goes like this. If he doesn't trade your board, you have 5 creatures. That's awesome. If he trades one of the creatures, then you have space for Ektar, and you can simply finish him off.
Fangblade. Alright. I don't suppose this is lethal, right? 2 fetus, actually.
Ah, it should be lethal.
Yeah, it's lethal. Alright. I've generally gone more of the value route. So I'd play like Cerberus, but I can see why this is the better play.
Yeah, it's like putting your opponent up to the wall, so have no choice. He removes your board, you still get enough shadows, and these shadows would allow you to produce zombies with Ektar. He doesn't remove your board, then you get Ektar. So it's a win-win situation for you. It wasn't something that he could break through with, at least not with Sword, and not with the usual cards. And I see he disconnected. Wow, that's a pity.
Yeah. Okay, so I generally want more bodies on the board in the late game when I have Actor.
Yeah, like when you have Hector, you have to plan ahead. So not only what happens when you play Hector on the empty board, but you can just set up lethals like this. So you play buddies on the board, and then you can simply kill him with Hector. Especially one of the buddies right there was a Bone Chimera. So even if you would kill a Bone Chimera, you would still get 2 skeletons. If he would leave Bone Chimera, you can sacrifice Bone Chimera to like anything on his board if he left something, and then you have 2 skeletons with charge. There is multiple options included with damage, and Ektar, if he's not gonna get even slightly nerfed in this patch, I will be surprised, because he is super powerful, like for a lot of months already, and they touch all of the aspects of the shadows, shadow deck, and they didn't touch Hector. But last patch proved that they will touch legendaries. They just nerfed Snow White, they nerfed the what was it called, the Ouroboros. So
Yeah,
it's possibility that Hector will get hit. I mean,
think
he would
this
be
is
balanced
neutral.
if his amount of shadows would be bigger, something like 4. What will see.
Okay, so I have Skull Beast and Demon Eater. Do I keep Demon Eater?
Yes, keep the monitor. Like, you'd rather keep the monitor in most of the situation because it's a 1-2 that replaces it. So let's say you got Skull Beast and the monitor, both of them. Worst case scenario, if you just draw nothing, let's say your hand is dual, then you can eat him on the turn 2 and draw 2 additional cards. You will just replace a body, gain 2 shadows, because one of the Skull Beast and one of the his dying effect, and obviously draw 2 cards. Like, the monitor is one of the really efficient cards. Obviously, the best combos are with the Attendant of Night, Bone Chimera, and such. So if you are able to do it, then it's perfect. But sometimes you will find yourself, let's say you got the Skull Beast and the monitor, and that in these 3 cards that you draw, so Lyrial, Cerberus, and Odil, it would be something like 3 Hectors. You would have no play for turn 3, turn 4, turn 5, nothing. So by doing so, the monitor would allow you to make your hand better a little.
Okay. So I played Lyrial because I feel like I shouldn't Demon Eater Skull Beast.
Yeah, Lyrial is
But she
good.
has. Alright.
Lyrial goes like this. If he trades Lyrial with the Skull Beasts, it's fine, because Skull Beast is supposed to be dead.
Okay. Wow. So now she has a 2-2 ward and a 3-2 Lyrial. And I have Soul Conversion Demon Eater. Do I just I feel like you first trade Lyrial and then Soul Conversion the Skull Beast to draw for answers, or
Yeah, that's what you should do.
okay.
So just trade Lyrial first. Obviously attack his face before
Yeah.
eating the Skull Beast. But
I didn't draw.
okay,
Just
you didn't
play
draw
Demon
anything.
Eater naked. I feel like I need to play her just for some sound battle tempo, right?
Well, right now it's not that bad, but you are not in a great spot. Obviously, he is going ham on you, but you got Death's Breath, you got Cerberus and Odil, so you got all of the power cards for the turn 5 onwards. So as long as you survive right now, it should be fine for you.
So I just Demon Eater.
Right now, no, do not play it. Like, there is no reason for you to play it right now, because it brings no value. It doesn't draw you cards, it doesn't activate any creature, and there's a chance that you can draw Lurching Corpse on the next turn, and he can simply attack into it, and bring no value at all for you. And even if you would play the monitor, the chances that he would just smack your face for 4.
Okay, so you played Goblin Leader.
Yeah, I see. That's nasty.
I feel like I need Bone. Actually, do I evolve? I think I play Bone Chimera and Skull Beast, but do I evolve Bone Chimera or Skull Beast? I feel like Bone Chimera.
Yes.
Actually, Skull Beast would be better, right? Because he'll be at 2 health, so Goblin can't trade.
But you should evolve the Bone Chimera, because you'd rather want your Chimera dead. Even if he trades with Goblin, That's totally okay for you. You just want your skeletons off the board, you want your shadow counts to go up.
Okay. This Lyra's gonna hit me for like 6 when he evolves.
Yeah, but
I kinda need to deal with the leader, so...
it's really hard. After all, when neutral decks go first. If you had zombie party on the turn that you did soul conversion, like soul conversion into zombie party, then it would avoid like 9 damage on the course of the game. And the reason of the evolving of the Chimera is that if you had evolved the Skull Beast, sure he could trade into it, but he could trade the Goblin into the Chimera, that was the 1/1. While right now he can still trade into the Chimera because he got the Delirial ability, but he cannot do it with the Goblin. So.
I'm on 6 now. I feel like...
Yeah, I see.
I could try to high roll to like trade a Chimera into Luriel and then Necro Assassin the Skeleton to try to hit the 4/5. 4/7. Well, actually, I don't need to do that. I could trade and then evolve the Skeleton.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
That's what you should do. Like, you don't need to high roll at the moment. You just have to trade, evolve Skeleton, trade Goblin, and then Necro Assassin the other Skeleton that's left on the board.
Alright, but I'm really low now.
Yeah, 6 life is something that will be really hard to come back from the room, because he have like Fallis in his deck, and right now we know that only 2 of his cards in his hand were neutral, like 2 of them were rune cards, so it can be something like Mage Levi, it can be something like Demonic Strike, Dance of Death. There is a lot of options that runs in neutral rune, and even if it's neutral cards, it still can be something like Hector.
Yeah, I feel like I should just... Well, actually, I could O'Deal to clear the board, but should I Death Press instead for get the wards?
Yeah, obviously.
You played 2 Wise Marin.
Death's Breath is way better at the moment because it protects your face. Like, if he's gonna kill you with spells, then he will do it. But if you play Death's Breath, you are safe to not dying to Fallis Leonardian Mage.
So, I suppose I just evolve a zombie and just clear the board, right?
Yeah, just evolve and trade his board. Do not lift anything, especially because they are neutral, so they can be buffed by something like Alice.
So, I value the health on zombie more than assassin, right? So I should trade the assassin into the 2/1.
Yeah, obviously. You'd rather have more health on your ward than on the creature that is just there.
Yeah. Alright. He's running low on cards though. Hopefully I can.
Yeah, but it's always like this with the neutral rune. He's running out of cards, then he will just play the Wizardress of Oz and refill his hand once again.
Yeah, he just did that. Dance of Death. If he has... Oh, double Dance of Death. Yeah, wow.
Okay, double Dance of Death totally does justice.
No justice. But that's kind of unfortunate. Should you have more than Zombie Party as removal? Like spell removal? Or would Undying Resentment be too much?
Undying Resentment will probably be too much. Also, it takes away your shadows. And the other thing is, it's just like, you didn't draw your 2 drops, like a lot of them, or 1 drops or whatever, so you didn't get the Zombie Party, which would allow you to survive this early game. The other thing is, he was going first, and he was just going first on curve, so 2, 3, 4, name it. And that's why going first is super powerful if you're on the pressuring side.
Okay, so I'm going first now. I have Bone Chimera and Lurching Corpse. Should I mulligan Chimera to get a... Or should I just keep it for a curve?
You can mulligan the Phantom Hole, but you can leave the Lurching Corpse and Chimera, because Chimera going first is fine. You're just putting a 1/1 body that will drop down to the pieces, give you skeletons, and you just want to go on curve with most of the decks. Like Shadow, Midrange Shadow is one of these tempo-based decks, and you want to play your minions on curve. So you already got 2, you have 3, so you have 2, 3, something. I see you got Soul Conversion, that's also perfect because it can work with any of these creatures. It can work with both Lurching Corpse and the Chimera.
Alright, so do I Lurching or do I Soul Scorcher? I feel like... Soul Squasher would be more like threatening or like tempo in terms of stats, but
Yeah, so Squasher is better.
Lurching Corpse would also be like, I don't know. I feel like I would play Lurching Corpse here.
Lurching Corpse is not great, because right now Lurching Corpse is not a threat. Like, you're putting only one attack creature on the board, so he puts something like a 2 and 2 on the board, let's say L'Oreal. So then you will be forced to play Soul Conversion, but do you want to play Soul Conversion on such a weak body? Rather not. So if you play Soul Squasher, she will be able to trade with most of his 2-drops, and she's just generating some pressure. You already got Ektar in your hand, so you can think about this game like something you need to deal enough damage, and then Ektar can be finisher. So Soul Squasher can help you achieve it. Also, the other thing with the Soul Conversion is that you just want to surprise your opponent with some of your plays. So Soul Conversion on the Lurching Corpse is one of these plays.
Okay. So, do I trade the Soul Squasher now, or do I Lurching Corpse Soul Conversion the Unicorn?
No, you definitely trade. And then you play Bone Chimera. Like,
Alright.
doing the Lurching Corpse Soul Conversion right now achieves you simply nothing. You waste cards. I mean, maybe not waste cards, but you waste a powerful effect of the Lurching Corpse, which can bring down any creature to only kill a 2/2 and leaves you with 2 and 2 on board. That's not the way how this should go. And Bone Chimera right now on the board, it creates some presence. Also, we are heading into his turn 4 soon, so he's gonna have his evolution first. You just don't want to give him more targets.
I think this is the 3 mana 6/6 legendary deck. I feel either that or it's just like a really bricky aggro.
I could
'Cause he just played
say
Mysterium
it's something
Grim,
like Wallet Rune with Sahakels, Israfils, Zeus, sometimes Gingers is also there. So
Okay.
yeah, that's really different kind of deck.
So do I Lurching Corpse hit face pass?
Yeah,
Or do I
that's
try to draw for...
just play Lurching Corpse, hit face, and pass. Because if he wants to kill Lurching Corpse, he still requires to play either spell or creature from his hand. He cannot kill it out of the board, and that's fine. You just want to save your Soul Conversion. Like, even the Soul Conversion on the Phantom Hole, it's gonna give you enough value. Even the Soul Conversion on the Skeletons. Right now, because you have play on the turn 7, like, that's for sure. If you are unable to play something on the turn 5, then we'll do some Soul Conversion. But right now, your opponent is not generating any pressure, so you don't have to answer it immediately. Like, this Grimoire is dealing 1 damage to you. You are on 20 life. There is nothing that's threatening your life total, so you can also play slowly.
Alright, you should just play Alice.
Adjust your praise.
This is scary. So, turn 5, I have Attendant.
Okay, I see.
I feel like Attendant, Soul Conversion, Evolve, Lich trade with Alice. Either that or just try to high roll the Soul Conversion on Alice.
No, high rolling is not a good idea. So, like I said, Attendant at night, Soul Conversion, and then trading the Lich with Alice is fine idea. You still save the Lurching Corpse, so it persists on the board and serves its role later on. And you remove the biggest threat on the board. So that's okay. Also, because he just buffed with Alice, there is a really high chance that something will come up, something that's bigger. So we will need the Lurching Corpse for it.
Yeah. I have Death Breath, but I don't have enough shadows yet. Unless he clears my board somehow.
But right now you are not in position where you have to play Death's Breath with Necromancy. Like, once again, he's not threatening you with damage at the moment, so you don't need to be on the defense like you were versus Sword.
Oh crap. Well, he got lucky with a Lurching Corpse. That's okay.
Did he trade into the Lurching Corpse, or what happened? Okay, I will see it soon. Okay, I see it now.
Yeah. I could zombie party the 4/3. Hit face with Chimera, Demon Eater, the Chimera, and then evolve either Demon Eater or a Skeleton.
But you can also do another trade that can be maybe not as efficient, but can do some profit for you. So you can trade your Chimera into his 4/3, which will give you enough shadows to play Death's Breath with Necromancy. So then you can evolve one of the zombies and kill the mage, the 2 and 2, while still leaving you enough defense for the board. And that's probably what you should do at the moment.
Better. Okay. Yeah. You obviously want to trade the unevolved, right? Because you don't want him to evolve again.
With the Chimera, you hit the 4/3, while with the evolve zombie from the Death's Breath, yeah, you will hit the unevolved. So this way, his evolved version will trade with any of the zombies. And you do it because, sure, you got Ektar, you got Tain, so there is a lot of things going on, but you also got Zombie Party, which can be used with the Enhance effect on the next turn. So, no matter what's gonna happen to your board at the moment, you should still have enough shadows and enough board presence.
Hector, which is fine. Alright. 5/5 Hector evolves into the zombie.
Oh yeah, Hector is powerful.
I don't suppose I just zombie party and then hit trade the skeletons, do I?
Yeah, it's okay. It's totally fine if
Sure,
you do it
better
like
play.
this. Yeah, zombie party and trade your skeleton. So you kill Hector, you are left with 3 zombies. These 3 zombies are able to be buffed by Hector, and worst case scenario, he can play Sahakel with Israfil, if that's this version of the wallet one. If it's not, then at least some of the zombies should survive.
Okay. If they survive, do I just push damage with Demon Lord? Or...
We'll see. That depends on how he's gonna play his turn. You have multiple options in your hands. You have a lot of card draw, after all. You have your Phantom Hole.
Alright, so he has a evolved Phalis Mage that he just went face with. Kind of unfortunate, because I have to trade 3 zombies if I play Hector on that.
Why 3?
Yeah, if I played Hector, I would have to trade 3 zombies into him. No, never mind. I'm done. 4. Do I just play Hector and trade the 2 zombies that come?
Yeah, just play Hector and trade 2 zombies and hit him into his face for 8. Like, zombies are gonna be 4 too. So.
4 plus 4 does not equal 7. Alright.
So right now we are just close to lethal. It will all goes down on what he's gonna do on this turn. Because for sure he cannot deal 15 damage to you. With 7 cards with 8 mana. Like, that's not possible. And obviously you can bring him down.
Just evolve and then Crimson Sorcerer the Hector and trade it into it. I feel like that's not optimal.
Well, optimal or not, he had to do something about him. Like, trading 2 zombies is removing 4 damage, while trading the Hector is still good.
Fine. Yeah. Do I Immortal Thane?
Yeah.
And then I can't actually Demon Eater then. Or do I just...
play Mortal Thane, then trade both of the zombies with his zombies. With his creatures. Right. Because every creature that dies when you have 2 white on your board, then will deal 2 damage, so it will be the same as attacking phase.
Alright. So, do I Luriel or Demon Eater? Oh boy. I feel like I just play real.
Okay, so it's tricky, but he's on 7 life. So you just want to bring him down as low as possible. So you can demonitor.
If I bring him to 4, I can Phantom Howl into death next turn.
Well,
if I demonitor one of these.
To be honest, you should demonitor the White King, and then play the White, because he's gonna cost 0. And he will protect.
Oops.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
click the white bit.
Yeah, no problem. Like, I wasn't clear in what was I saying, but I meant the Tetane, yeah. That's what he's called, and then play the White King. So, by doing it so, you would still have 4 minions on the board, and he will be at 3. But obviously, you got Phantom Hole, which is gonna be enough to turn him down. No matter what's gonna happen.
Is reveal, okay.
But
so he heals to 8.
But he does not have evolution point, so you still win.
Yeah, let's see. I can kill him with ODL.
You can kill him with so many options. So after all, it was his Raffle version, so like I said, it's lucky that he didn't Sahakell his Raffle on the turn you had zombies in the board. That would be really troublesome to come back from.
Is that good? Or like, in this meta?
So, this deck is really tricky, but it's a good deck. It's not that bad because it has all of the neutral power of the early game, so it can flourish and draw a lot of cards. Same goes for the Grimoire, because you are not running like any spells at all. Maybe there's like 1 or 2 spells, but I believe there was none. You can use Grimoire as a 3 mana 1/2 body that draws you 2 cards. That's really awesome. And considering all of the neutral synergies, so Hector, Phallus is an awesome card currently, and Alice, which buffs up all of the stuff. Grimoire is doing a really good job. But the deck, of course, can break if you draw all of your late game Ilion. And sometimes you will not have board pressure. Because of the lack of spells, decks like Shadow can punish it by just extending your board. Like you saw right now, had no removal for your zombies that allowed you to just push 8 damage with only Hector, and removing his creature with zombies created by Hector. So it single-handedly wins the games.
Okay, I don't need 2 Dominators, right? I feel like keeping 2 Demon Eaters in my opening hand is a bit too much. I have Lurching Corpse and Demon Eater now.
Okay, so right now you're going against Shadow, so you should just throw out your entire hand. Because
my entire hand?
Yeah, your entire hand, because you don't want Lurching Corpse versus Shadow, because he's also playing Skeletons, Attendance at Night and such, so you just help him. And Demon Eater is really good, but only in the later stages of the game, when you can play something and then Demonitor. So playing her turn 2 is not gonna accomplish nothing at all. So you either fetch for a Skull Beast, or your 2-drop, 2 mana, 2 and 2. So I see at least you get Soul Squasher, which is nice.
Yeah. Alright. I have so many 2-drops. Why do I draw so little of them? Well, I have drawn a lot of corpses and...
As long as you have 1, then it's okay. Because in Shadow versus Shadow, it will ultimately go down to... If you both go even, then it will just go down to whoever get Hector first. So him going first obviously allows him for getting Hector first. But let's say he messes up something along the road, or do not remove your creatures, or skips a turn, or bricks, then you will have a lead because you got evolution point of advantage.
He didn't play anything turn 2.
Okay, that's great.
He's probably gonna corpse party it, but I guess that's fine. Yeah. I play Soul Squasher on Curve, right? Yeah.
Yep, you should play Soul Squasher on Curve.
It's probably... I think this is this deck, actually. Because they have a lot of removal and not so much proactive early game.
Well, right now we cannot just make this assumption. Because we don't know if he just bricked, he didn't draw his cards, or he's simply out of deck. So, of course, this might lead to it, but you cannot be sure at the moment, unless he shows you his cards. Also, how many...
Really bricking now. What?
Also, how many cards did he replace in his replace phase? Can you check it?
Redrew 3. No, redrew 1 card.
Okay, so if he redo one, either his hand is really greedy or he's really playing Neptus, so we'll see it soon. Because if he didn't keep a 2-drop, that actually means something about his hand. Or he's bad. Because not playing a 2-drop in this matchup, then, well, it's really hard.
I obviously go face with this. I'm really bricking. Do I soul conversion this or just keep it? I feel like I should just keep it.
Right now,
No,
you shouldn't play the soul conversion. Because the problem is, if you soul conversion and do not find anything for the next turn, it's gonna be hard. While if he doesn't find a removal for your soul squasher, then you can evolve it, then soul conversion, then do something. Like there is also a possibility of you drawing anything. Because your turn 5, 6, they're all fine. You just lack turn 4. So if you do soul conversion now and hit nothing, then it's gonna be troublesome. Because you have no board presence. You have nothing on board, so he's free to do whatever he wants, and turn 4 you will pass. While if you leave the Soul Squasher, at least his turn 4, so right now, will keep him busy. So have to decide whether to do something with the Soul Squasher, or to do something with his board.
Oh, that's gross. I got a Demon Eater, so... I think I just Demon Eater... Do a Demon Eater... evolve trade into Skull Beast and then Soul Conversion, or?
Yeah, that's desperate play, but that's what you have to do at the moment. There is nothing you can do, and he just played Skull Beast, so he just showed that most likely he's not Neptus, he's just a mid-range who bricked a lot and then drew some cards. So even though it really feels bad because the monitor is not powerful, it's not gonna survive, and you are gonna Soul Conversion it, like you cannot even trade the Leech with it. Well,
do I even evolve it, or do I just?
Yeah, you evolve it to kill the Skull Beast. You have 3 evolution points, so evolution points, well, if you save them, they are not gonna do anything at all if you are dead. So at the moment you just keep focusing on defending yourself. Because let's assume you do not kill the Skull Beast, and he evolves it. Then you have 2 bodies you have to worry about, while the next turn you have removal for something, so... We'll see how it goes.
If he evolves the Lich and goes face, I'm kind of in trouble. Okay, it didn't. So, I think I Goblin Princess, evolve the Princess and trade into Lich, right?
Yeah, that's what you
Then
have to do.
If I evolve the Goblin Princess and go trade the Lich, I have 2 Goblins.
Oh, but you
Or
draw
actually,
additional Lyrial. That's gonna be handy, but not right now. So, you just have to decide what you want to keep on the board. So, it can go 2 ways, but playing the Goblin Princess will at least give you some board presence. So, Goblin Princess and evolving her into the Lich is fine. Especially because you got Odil for the next turn. So, let's just assume he makes his board full, then the other part of the White Swan will not appear. So, you just want to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not an easy case, but
Oh my god.
sometimes games will be hard. Like, no one said it's gonna be easy.
Catacomb. That's...
No,
it's
Catacomb is
definitely not
gross.
Neptis. It's definitely not Neptis.
Yeah, we could tell that after the Skull Beast, I presume.
No, he didn't play it. He played a Demon Eater after that. Alright, so actually, wait, would the deal be good here? I could kill one of his things and then wait, let's see.
Yeah,
Odile would...
Odile is fine.
Yeah, I guess. And then I damaged the... Actually, do I damage the Demon Eater, or do I just take out the skeleton?
It doesn't matter, because they will both leave the one on the board, so... I mean, no. Do not damage the this one. You just should kill something that will leave skeleton on the board, because that's like -1 unit on the board. It will be left.
So
Just kill something that
Do I
will...
even trade?
Yeah, you kill something that puts skeleton on the board.
Alright.
Because then the skeleton will appear, and then it will die. So he will be short 1 unit, instead of nothing. Because at first I saw you were targeting the Demon Eater, that was something like 1-2 with no effect, but it will die anyway from the Odile effect, so attacking into it will be pointless.
Oh right, for some reason I thought it was 1. I don't know, I'm not thinking straight today.
Okay. Now, if it was 1, then it wouldn't be a card that you want to include in your board. Like, 1 damage is too little, while 2 is still fine because it trades with a lot of stuff.
Alright. I feel like... Let's see. You just zombie partied enhance. So I could either play a Lyriel and a Goblin King, and then evolve a Lyriel, kill a skeleton and a zombie, or I could Death Breath and just evolve trade into a zombie.
Okay, so right now, if you play Goblin King and L'Oreal, it's gonna be better. Because if you play Death's Breath and trade, then he will just play Ektar and trade with all of your Death's Breath. While, sure, if he plays Ektar, it's game over most of the time. But the Goblin King requires something bigger than Zombie to be evolved into him because he's a 5/5, so he can take a hit.
Okay, so I Goblin King, Lyriel, and then evolve Lyriel.
Goblin King and L'Oreal.
Yeah. So I get rid of the skeleton and the zombie.
Yeah, skeleton and the zombie.
Oh man, he's almost at 20 shadows. If this guy has Deathly Tyrant, then...
Yeah, if his deck have Deathly Tyrant, then you are dead.
Yeah. Actually, I won't even be mad if he has Deathly Tyrant. Okay, he acted.
Okay,
He may
Ektar
just
is
evolve the actor to...
as devastating as Zombie.
Yeah.
As a Tyrant, because Ektar, like I already said in the beginning of the game, whoever plays Ektar first is gonna have immense advantage. So,
Yeah.
just did it.
Alright, so... Is there even a way to survive this? I could Little Soul Squasher, the actor, and then Death Breath.
But you are lacking 1 shadow.
But I would get 1 from the spell, right?
Oh yeah, if you go Death's Residency, yep. Like if you go in that order.
Yeah. Though I guess...
Like that's
like
your
very...
only line of play. It's desperate, and it's not gonna help you too much, but it's still something that you have to do if you want to survive. And that's probably the worst part of the current metagame and the current problem. So the player going first have really immense advantage, especially in mirror matches, where like your cards are similar, or in most of the cases they are just the same. So whoever goes first gains the pressure, and that's not how the games is gonna be. Like most of the games, for example, right now Hearthstone or Duelist, they have kinda balanced going first and going second. While if you ever looked for the Shadow Lock reports or charts on Reddit, some people post them there. There is a really high percentage difference between going first and going second for most of the decks, and obviously it's shifted toward going first.
Oh my god.
Well, Ektar ran to Ektar. Couldn't do much about it.
Yeah. I kinda bricked in the beginning though. Even though I guess he also did that.
Ah, but he started with that and his start was kinda strong. So he didn't have it to drop, but had immediate answers later on. So that's what allowed him. Also, he could do all of the trades, and did all the trades actually, without using his evolution points. So he saved all of his evolution points for the late, while you were forced to use your evolution points to even fight with his board, like Demon Eater into Soul Conversion, that's not great play, after all. So we were just forced into it.
Let's see, Actor obviously goes away. Do I keep Zombie Party when I'm second against Sword? I feel like I do. Actually, do I keep Soul Conversion? I don't keep Soul Conversion, right?
Yeah, from this hand you only keep Zombie Party, because even though you are going second, he will just play his creature first, so you will have an answer for it. So let's assume he doesn't play anything turn 1, then he plays something turn 2, then you got Zombie Party, so you can choose whether you want to play your creature, trade, or do a Zombie Party. So keep a Zombie Party, but Soul Conversion and Actor, these are not needed. You just want something that can fight for the board, and only creatures can fight for the board at the moment.
Actor likes to be in my hand.
Yeah, I see.
Alright.
Came back.
So, I guess I'll just Soul Squasher. He didn't play anything turn 2.
Well, once again, that's really good for you. He's going first, he didn't play anything turn 2, so you get your turn 2 open, but this time at least you get removal.
Yeah, he played Grimnir, so I just Zombie Party thing of face, right?
Oh, he's playing Grimnir in Sword, that's interesting.
Maybe it's neutral Sword. I'm not sure how good that is, but...
Maybe. Like, that would be the only reason to get it.
Gee.
But even in neutral Sword, most of them would just play Angelic Knight at the moment, because the Knight is kinda better.
He played Geno. Actually, I feel like there's a lot of 1 health trades. Should I consider adding Angel of the Word in the deck?
I can add it, but that still depends on the creatures, on the meta, and the stuff you were meeting. So it's fine addition, but it's not always something that that must be there.
I don't evolve Soul Squasher, do I? And just trade.
Unfortunately, you have to. You just have to play to Soul Squasher, evolve it, and trade. Because you don't want to get hit for 4 into your face, like that's a given. You don't want to be on 16. You got Death's Breath, got Cerberus, and Ectars. And you already saw in the previous game how Ectar into Ectar can win a game on its own. So as long as you don't allow him to get 3 hits onto your face, even though it feels bad losing your Soul Squasher and the previous Soul Squasher to only 1 card of his, it's still something, still a play that will protect your face. And that's what you have to care more about. Like, unlike the Haven, you don't have heals in your deck.
So he played the...
Yeah, I see. The Luminous.
Yeah, I just evolve trade Saber, right?
Yeah, just play Cerberus, evolve trade. It's the only correct play at the moment. And the other good thing about this play is that you are getting both of the Cerberus spells, so they will just refill your shadows, at least a little.
Alright, so... Actually, do I just play Death Breath without the Necromancy?
Oh,
I feel like that's the only...
that's not good. I mean, Death Breath without Necromancy is not good at all.
Should I Corpse, Demon Eater, and then Mimi, one of these?
So first, do the Corpse and Demon Eater, so you can check out what you're gonna draw. So determine the random factor before you do anything else. Most likely, you will kill the other target, but just for remembering the good habits, the Corpse and Eater first.
Okay, so I Mimi the Luminous Knight, right?
Yeah, do it.
And I don't need to Soul Conversion this. I have a big enough hand.
No, you don't. You can wait with Soul Conversion for the more convenient moment, or for the situation where you have something like another large corpse in your hand.
Okay, so he just played an enhanced Geno. Do I don't Actor, right? No. Do I Death Breath and then just Evolve Trade?
Okay, so enhanced, might be troublesome but only a little. It's still not that big of a deal. So right now you can do a lot of plays on the board that can help you. So first of that, you can play Bone Chimera and then evolve it. Trade into the, you can drop Attendant of Night. You can do Stone Commission Attendant. Like there's a lot of roads that you can take right now. But the best one would be not playing the Death's Breath yet. You just want to multiply your options as much as possible. So you should do the Attendant at Night and Soul Conversion first.
Yeah, draw first.
And what did you do?
I think I still Chimera Evolve trade, right?
Yeah.
Or do I care about the Lich? Nah, the Lich will die tonight. I just Chimera Evolve trade, right?
Yep.
I feel like
the Chimera and trade is fine because it will leave you with 2 skeletons. The Lich is big enough for him to trade with other creature. I mean, fine. He can trade your Chimera skeletons with his soldiers from Yeno, but he cannot do too much damage into your face. While you have Ektar, so you got Ektar, and you also just happen to draw a Skull Beast. So this Skull Beast, worst case scenario, can also be gift rushed and trade.
ooh, we just played Floral Fencer with the Storm Knight, the Dark General, Curse General. That's he can actually go face. Wow.
Oh
Dude,
wow,
Foul Tempest.
that's interesting. The Floral Fencer, the card that wasn't present.
I mean, I'm actually surprised not many sword play Floral anymore. Such a good value card.
It's just not good as it used to be anymore, because neutral cards are more powerful than that.
Alright, so I don't have any more evolution. I drew Zombie Party.
You can just play Ektar and trade his entire board.
Okay.
That's the best play right now that you can do, because it will still leave you with some shadows, it will leave you with Ektar and the zombie, and then you can play Skull Beast. So you are still left with 3 creatures, and you have another Ektar in your hand.
Actually, I should probably have played a Skull Beast before, right?
No, you shouldn't.
3 I could have traded one of the Skull Beasts instead of a zombie, so I'd have a 2/2 instead of a 1/2. Right? And I'd save some shadows.
Saving shadows right now doesn't matter, because you will get plenty of them. Still, you got Phantom Hole, you got Demon Eater, you got your Cerberus spell, Zombie Party, so saving it wouldn't help you too much.
I just Zombie Party this 3/3 Fangblade, right? I feel like that's... And then
but
I'll
first thing first,
Coco.
you should attack with a Skull Beast and eat it with the Demon Eater. So you can refill your hand. So you attack his face.
Imperial and Death's Breath.
Okay.
I think there's still Zombie Party, right?
Yeah, that's still Zombie Party. Because by doing so, you still remain with 5 creatures on the board, so Skull Beast and the Zombie Eater, like that's the same size, because they're both 1/2, but you just managed to gain some shadows.
Oof, that's the Grimnir value.
Did he just Grimnir?
Alright. So he just played Grimnir to clear my whole board.
Oh yeah,
Still
that's
has an
interesting.
evolution. I think he's saving it for Albert. He hasn't drawn it yet though. Or maybe he's just not in the position. I think I Death's Breath, right? And then just Skull Beast Lyrial.
Okay, Death's Breath is fine. And Skull Beast Lyrial as a follow-up is also okay.
Yeah, Lyrial. And do I even just put down the Skull Beast just to...
Yeah, just
that be-
put it on the board. Because if he doesn't play any creature, then you're still in a fine position. And if he plays something, then, well, you can still trade into the Grimnew. So, well, that's it.
Fangblade. Bladed Hedgehog. That lethal, I think. No, actually. Good. evolve the hedgehog to.
Evolving the hedgehog sounds nasty. So, killed 3? No, killed 2 of your units.
Let's feed a family. I have 11 damage to face if I play active. 13 with Coco. It's not enough though. I don't have a way to kill Lurching Corpse. Unless I Lurching Corpse actor just to give him Storm and trade into that, but I won't do that.
Yeah, but that wouldn't do justice. I mean, it's still something that can be done, but it's not something that you should consider doing.
Do I Coco? Do I trade Coco, the skull based, into the hedgehog? And then just another Death Breath?
Okay, so right now, Ektar would give only you 1 skeleton, which is not what you want. So you want to trade both of your Lurial and Skullbeast into the Grimir. So do so we don't waste time on the turn. Then you want to play Ektar.
Okay.
And just trade his entire board.
Do I Coco just for some face damage?
Yes, you should. And then you are able to play Lurching Corpse.
Oh my god.
Because obviously the Coco code could be used to trade his Fangblade Slayer, but the problem with that is that it's one time only, and unless you have a second Grimnir, then it's proficient for you to deal more damage, because you set up a lethal with a Phantom Hole.
I don't suppose... If I get rid of this, I have 5. I get lethal if I kill the Veteran Lancer. Then it's like a 50-50, right? Do I take it? Do I just trade the... Or actually, do I just soul conversion first to... I think I soul conversion the Lurching Corpse, right? And if it hits the Lancer, I Phantom Half for lethal.
Yeah, do it. Let's see how it goes.
Okay, it didn't hit. I could Phantom Howl in... No, actually, that's not gonna get. I think he could have Albert, so I think I just trade Actor and then play Death Breath.
Okay, let's see right now.
Because I don't think I have enough for lethal, right?
No, you cannot. So the Death's Breath is your best possible choice, just to protect your face. Like, he only got 1 card in his hand, so you just want to be as safe as possible. You got guaranteed lethal next turn, no matter what. So
I mean, 3rd Grimnir. I don't know. If he got his 3rd Actor, no, Grimnir, that would actually clear the board and put me in a bad position. But,
I wouldn't say it would put you in a bad because you got Necro Assassin, so still had a lot of options to his board.
He didn't draw his Albert though,
That's good, but also have to consider that in any point of the match he wasn't in a position where Albert could kill you. Like, after the 9 play points, you were always either protected by your zombies, or by your board, or by your life total, like you were out of range a lot of the time. So even if he doesn't draw it, if you play around it, it's fine. Because let's assume he top decks it and then you lose because you didn't play around it. That's not the good way to go.
Alright, Rune. I'm just gonna always assume it's neutral Rune.
Yeah, versus Rune, you should assume right now that it's neutral.
Alright, so Do I actually just keep this whole hand? Soul Squasher, Deep Needler, Lurching.
Okay, so right now, because you got Soul Squasher, you got Corpse and Eater, so it's like 3 combo pieces. So depending on what he's gonna play on his turn 1 and his turn 2, you can decide what road you want to go, so it's fine to keep all of these 3. Because let's assume he goes neutral road and plays his 2 and 2, you just play your 2 and 2. He doesn't play anything, you can play Lurching Corpse and you can redraw cards. So there is a lot of ways that you can start with this hand, and also you're going second, so once again you will draw 2 additional cards, and the tempo pressure is gonna be on you. Okay, Skull Beast is awesome.
Ooh, it's Earth, right rune. Do I actually trade into Crafty Warlock and just play Lurching or Soul Pushing? Or do I just... I feel like I would take the trade and then just play a 2-drop.
Yeah, trade is fine, and playing a 2-drop is also fine. You got both of the Soul Squasher, you won't need 2 of them, so one of them is efficient enough. So if you are able to trade his 2-drop with your 1-drop, it's okay. Obviously, you are not in good shape because we can deduce that he's playing their turn version. So he got his Master Mage Levi's, he got all of his burn spells that can deal with your entire board later on.
Yeah, he played Illusionist now. So I think I just play a Lurching Corpse, right? I got a Necro Assassin for next turn.
Yeah, Lurching Corpse is okay.
Yeah. Oh my god, Magic Illusionist. I wish Shadow had something like that. Even though, I don't know, maybe like Necromancy 3? Resummon this minion? That would be nice.
Well, that's nice, but
maybe a bit.
They just cannot balance all of the classes, and they cannot give... Also, Necromancy 3 is really low, so it would just keep appearing in a pick. Also, if you want something like Illusionist, they already printed the card, and it's the Corpse Lord of Vow. It's the Shadow bad version of the card, yeah. That's...
I mean, that's not a good comparison. But, let's see. Do I don't really care about removing it right now, right? Because he'll just go back.
So you should. You should kill it when possible, because then if he goes out of control with his Earth Sigils, then you won't be able to shut him down. Right now we have the perfect possibility of killing it.
So Lurching Demon and then trade.
You can trade first, and you don't need to use your Lurching Corpse right now. I mean, sure, if you want to go this road, then the next turn will probably be Skull Beast Necro Assassin. So if you want to do it like this, then Lurching Corpse and Eater first. So you will draw cards, and then you can evolve the Demon Eater and save your Soul Squasher. So if you do it like this, then it's obviously better. So the plan would just conclude trading his units one by one. It's still fine.
Yeah, that's better than trading the Soul Squasher.
Yeah, obviously.
Oh wow, he passed turn 5.
Well, passing turn 5 means either his hand is really terrible, or I don't know, I have no idea.
I don't evolve Soul Squasher aggressively, do I? And just face.
No, don't.
Alright, so I guess I'll play Lyrio and pass. I kind of want Skull Beast to have something to Necro Assassin.
Okay, so
I would probably
you will
play
still have a 2-drop. So right now you can play Lyrial, Soul Squasher, and Skull Beast. 3 of them. Because he doesn't have Earth Rights on the board, Earth Sigils, so he cannot play the Master Mage, Levi, so he cannot kill your entire board. So if you just play 3 creatures, you're gonna pressure him for enough.
He could play the
Mutagenic Bolt.
6 play point, banish all 2 health.
Yeah, he could. But if you,
okay, sure.
I mean, if you're afraid of it, then you can evolve your Soul Squasher. But that's a card that's not playable at the moment. Not many decks included, but...
I don't know. Oh wow. Disaster Witch. That's not a normal card. Alright. So he just played Disaster Witch.
Oh yeah, I see. That's interesting one.
Alright, do I Soul Squasher or do I just Necro Assassin the Skull Beast to save the shadows? Obviously Ghostface.
To be honest, considering that you have both of the you don't need to save shadows at the moment, because other than Death's Breath, you have no things to do. So Soul Squasher is better. Also because you got 2 evolution points. So you can only use Soul Squasher on evolved creatures, while you can use Necro Assassin on any creature. It doesn't matter if it's evolved or not.
Okay.
So you will never get value out of Soul Squasher if you do not kill 2 evolved creatures. You have 2 Soul Squashers, so right now, of course, you're losing shadows. That's okay. And you can evolve Lyriel.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that just to kind of threaten him.
Yeah, no problem. I was just saying because sometimes when I was doing it like this with the previous students, it was like sometimes we would run out of time because of the delay.
Yeah.
So
I think I keep the Lyriel just in case, because I already have.
they're like he's on 5 HP right now. You can pass the turn, and it's up to him what he's gonna do. Do not play this Lyriel, because right now he's not on 6.
Ooh.
It will be fine in the previous turn. Right now it's not, because he can play Airfright Rune, he can play Master Mage Levi, vaporize your entire board. That's not what you want to do. Well, if it was the turn's 6, then it would be safe. I see, that's what he did.
Yeah. He kind of did misplay by not evolving and trading, because
Well, he
I
just
mean I
lost the
did
game.
top deck Actor, but like
Even if you did not top the Ectar, you still had Evil from the Lyriel. It is still lethal. You got Cerberus in your deck, you got Phantom Holes, like these are all common
like,
things in the deck. So.
I would evolve trade into the Lyriel in his position.
Yeah, of course.
Would that be wrong?
That's what he was supposed to do. He killed himself, basically, because, like I just said, there's a lot of cards that can kill him out of the spot that are played in the Shadowcraft. So that's just it.
Yeah, I felt like he was very greedy to save the evolution point there. Especially when he's at
he was
that
kind of
low
unlucky
health.
that he didn't play anything on the turn 5, also.
Yeah. Alright, so guess I'll just keep Soul Squasher and take away Death Breath and serve.
Okay, I still need to sit.
I mean, I doubt I keep Serb or Death Breath.
Yeah, I see. So you only keep Soul Squasher. Cerberus and Desworth are not cards to keep, like in any matchup. Sometimes Cerberus, when going first, when you're going versus Haven and such, can be kept, but most of the time, rather just keep minions on curve.
Yeah. You played Lurching Corpse. Do I still play Soul or do I zombie party it? Just to remove the potential removal.
Okay, so right now, you can just play Zombie Party. And the reason is not only Soul Squasher and such, like protecting your minions, but also denying him a creature. So, the Lurching Corpse is a creature that he would easily use Soul Conversion on the monitor later on, and because it's like the main purpose of the Lurching Corpse dying and giving positive effects. So if you do the Zombie Party, you're just negating one of his effects, and the next turn you're free to play something like Advent of Night.
Yeah, he played Chimera. Guess I'll just attend them. And then I have Necro Assassin next turn. Though, against the Chimera, I'm not sure how good Necro Assassin is.
Well, it's just not good. After all, like in Shadow versus Shadow, all of these effects are not that great. But because your hand didn't consist of something that can be killed easily, so you didn't have a Chimera, that's why you had to kill the Lurching Corpse. You already got Ectar, you got Tain, so the late game is up there for you.
Yeah, I seem to always draw 7 drops. I don't know why, but like 7 is the magic number for me. I always have 7 drops in my hand. Which was really bad when I played Dark Alice. the Dark Alleys deck with the Test of Strength. I always drew the Dark Alleys and then I would brick hard.
Yeah, that could be troublesome. I mean, the thing is, you can break even 10 games in a row, but in game like Shadowverse, you have to grind a lot, so you don't measure things by playing like 1 game, 2 games, 3 games, but hundreds of games. That's where you measure.
Yeah. So he just played Prince Catacomb on the Chimera. I feel like I don't want to kill anything of his war right now, do I?
Okay, so right now it's tricky, and first thing first, you want to draw some cards, so you can go Alternate Knight into his face and do the soul conversion. So you will draw some cards. Because Necro Assassin is not an option at the moment. You don't want to use Necro Assassin effect to remove the 1/1. That's just bad. And we'll just see what you're gonna draw from the soul.
Lurching? I feel like I should keep Soul Squasher just in case he evolves something big.
Yeah, you can play your Skull Beast.
Or do I just play Skull Beast, but do I play Lurching or Soul Squasher?
You can play Lurching, because you got Necro Assassins and Soul Squasher, so even if he trades into your Lurching Corpse, it's still a 1/2, so he would require to trade something. And obviously you want to evolve your Skull Beast right now to trade the Catacomb Prince. Oh, you passed the turn. Okay, so it was too fast. So you wanted to evolve it, because you just want to start using your evolution points. You want to mitigate his board presence at the moment and lower his amount of creatures. Also, it would make your board bigger. So right now, the trades are just easier for him.
He played Serb, probably gonna evolve into Lich. I feel like he's playing like a more aggressive version with like Serb and full of skeletons.
Well, that depends. Catacomb Prince is just a really good creature. Instead of Catacomb Prince, your deck got something like Goblin Princess. Not everyone runs Goblin Princess, and Catacomb Prince is still fine as long as you make a good use of him.
Do I Soul Conversion the Serb and then Demon Eater the Lurching? Probably Demon Eater first though, because drawing.
Okay, so attack his face with the Lurching Corpse first. But I don't think there's a need to Demon Eater right now.
Do I Necro the Lurching?
No, you Soul Squasher the Cerberus. And then you evolve the Soul Squasher, and with the Skull Beast and the Soul Squasher, you simply kill the Catacomb Prince and Skeleton that comes out of him. So he will be left with only Bone Chimera on the board.
Are you sure I don't Demon Eater there? Oh, okay.
No, you
I
don't.
Need something to pop there. Actually,
you don't want to monitor the Lurching Corpse, like for sure, because the Chimera will pop 3 skeletons.
Yeah, but like the one Skull Beast. I feel like kind of value, you know? I don't know.
No, there is no need for you.
I don't really need. Yeah, just to have more options in the next turn.
I mean, even if he trades into the Skull Beast, it's still a card that can just, it's something, draw you some cards, it's a 1/2, it's a card that can work really good with the Immortal Tain. And if you are able to not sacrifice your board presence like it's right now, it's really relevant that you stay ahead on the board in the Shadow Mirror, then just don't do it.
Right, so he just traded Chimera into the Skull Beast.
Okay,
so yes,
that's fine.
Soul Squasher and 3 skeletons currently. 4 play points left. Demon Eater's one of the skeletons. Plays Lurching Corpse.
Hey.
It's kind of an annoying board. I got Phantom out, I don't think I want to play that though. So, do I... obviously Lurching Corpse goes face. Do I Demon Eater the Lurching Corpse and then Necro Assassin the Demon Eater if I don't get anything better?
Okay, so right now, I see you got Phantom Hole, you got this. So yeah, the monitor first. So you at least take one of these targets, and we'll see what you're gonna take with you.
Hope he doesn't. Okay. I got Zombie Party. I think I still just want a Necro. Actually, that's kind of risky with the lurching. But I kind of want to do Necro and then evolve trade into the Soul Squatter or whatever stays.
Yeah, so do the Necro, and let's see if you're able to not hit the Lurching Corpse.
Yeah, if I hit the Lurching Corpse, I'm kind of...
Like, it's 25% chance, so it's not too high,
So-
but obviously it's there.
I move the Soul Squasher then. I kill. Okay, so he has Demon Eater and a Lurching Corpse on board.
Okay, that's
That's
totally fine, because you are still with one evolution point, and you got Ectar. So, once again, unless he plays Ectar right now, so because he's going first, his Ectar is gonna be a little more powerful, then you can answer it with your own Ectar, which will have 2 zombies included, or you have Immortal Tain, you got Zombie Party, a lot of things that you can into account.
Okay, but if he played Soul Squasher, then I think he's gonna evolve aggressively the Lurching Corpse. I didn't. Okay, but he has like 4 things, and I can only spawn 2. Oh, I drew O-Dial. I think I just play OD, right? He has a 2-2, a 2-2, Lurching Corpse, and a 3-2 Demon Eater. I think I just play OD.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, she's gonna die, which is not something that's good for you, but that's the only way to break out this stalemate board.
Yeah.
And obviously, unless he uses a Phantom Hole, he will not close out with damage, because he got extra. And on the other hand, you also got enough shadows to the Death's Breath, so you will be in a fine position after playing Codale.
He used Coco, so he doesn't have 11 with Phantom Howl.
Yeah, right now not, but he's still free to play additional Cerberus later on, so
Well, yeah, but that's not this turn.
yeah, let's
Okay,
hope so.
so Demon Eater's the Chimera. Place another Demon Eater on the Skull.
Yeah, so he
Alright.
just refilled his hand. Like, that's why we included the monitor in the deck building phase, because this card is really, really good in Shadow. It's like another card drawing ability.
So, I have a few options here. I guess I don't want to be as slow as to just play Zombie Party pass, or Evolve fast. I think I played Death's Breath, right? And then Evolve trade into Demon Eater, I guess.
Okay, so the problem with Death's Breath is that it doesn't do much. I mean, sure, Death's Breath is still something that can protect you, but if he plays Ectar, then he will just trade your board, and that's simply it. So you'd rather avoid it at the moment. So what you can do is either go for the trade, because you're able to trade his entire board right now.
With Ectar?
Yes, because you can do the Phantom Hole, trade both of these half, then Necro Assassin, the other one, or you can do the Phantom Hole and Zombie Party. So these are like 2 options that exist there for you. Or you can go for Ectar and leave him with only 1 creature on the board. So
I think I Phantom Howl. Let's see. Oh, actually, I don't.
to be honest, the Ectar is better. You can just play Ectar, trade 2 of his creatures, and then evolve Ectar and kill the other one. So he's left with only 1 minion. Because if you do the Phantom Howl and Necro...
Oh my god, dude. I don't have the time. God dang it.
Okay,
That's
you
okay.
went for the Phantom Howl. Fine.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't have the time to hit the last. It kind of sucks, but. Oops.
Oh yeah, it does. So yeah, that's what I said before, that sometimes the delay is too much and it might lead to disasters like this. I mean,
That's fine.
it's not a problem, but all in all, Lecter would be just better. Because you're leaving him with 1 creature on the board, but on the other hand, you still have enough shadows to answer later on. While if you use the Phantom Hole, then you will not produce shadows afterwards, so the actor will be really empty.
He's taking a lot of time. I don't think he's playing actor.
He shouldn't play actor
No,
this turn.
I think if he had actor, he would have played it. Or maybe he's...
Yeah, obviously, if he had it, then he would play it. That's a play right there.
Yeah.
Okay, so while
Would
we're
you
still...
also evolve one of the demon eaters just to hit more face?
No, that's not needed. I mean, it sounds fine, but it's only a +2 points of damage. There are better usage for evolution point later on, because if he evolves, then he's losing the surprise pressure, so it's +2 damage, but he can use it anytime, because if he uses it right now and hit your face, then you are the one who will answer his evolution point. So you will evolve something, or you will use Necro Assassin, you will just kill his evolved creature. So it's only +2 damage, while he can use it anytime he wants. So if somehow you regain the bird, then he will have his evolution point and he'll be free to do so. So it's not good to use your last evolution point to just deal 2 additional damage. Not
he
in this
just
match.
passed turn 9.
Oh, he just passed without attacking. Maybe he disconnected.
Yeah.
No idea.
I don't think so. I feel like he just... I don't know. Do I take this time to just zombie party a demon eater? Just to build a board? Or do I immortal Thane?
Yeah, zombie party and Lyrial. That's okay. Yeah. And that's better because if you have zombies already on the board, like something on the board, then after you play Thane, you will deal additional damage. While if you play Thane first, then, well, it's not gonna happen. Also, the whites from Thane have only 1 HP, so he's free to trade with his Demonitor that's remaining on the board, the 1/1.
I don't evolve kill the demon eater, do I?
No, do not evolve.
That's...
Because if you have the Deathly Tyrant, you're gonna lose Netless, because he will have... or not, he will not, because he got only 14, sorry. Oh my god. Anyway, he's not able to win with the Phantom Hole. Because let's say he plays Cerberus, it's... Okay, with Cerberus and Phantom Hole, it's 4 plus 2 plus 2, it's still not enough. So you are like guaranteed to survive, unless some very strange things happens. If I recall correctly, the Deathly Tyrant costs 6, so if he would play Mint and Deathly Tyrant, that would be something. But that's probably the only case. And obviously it's unusual and shouldn't happen too much. Okay, so the one thing I wanted to...
Who dares summon me?
I wanted to say before. How long are you playing this game? Like, when did you start?
I started before any new expansions, but I think after the beta. I started before it Shadowverse came on Steam.
Okay. And how many games are you playing right now, or like in the week?
I don't know, I took a very long break, like a few months ago. I've only played like a little bit, actually. I played mostly unranked in the beginning, and I think I just newly started to play more ranked.
Oh yeah, but I mean, right now, like, let's see, next week or this week, how many hours, how many games are you able to pull off? Also, I see you win, so just go for the win.
Yeah. I don't know why I evolved even, whatever. I don't know. I just kind of play when I feel like it.
Okay.
It's not about not having the time, it's more about if I feel like playing. I don't know. I play maybe on average like 3 games. Or like maybe 6 games per week on average, because I sometimes play like a long session at once rather than playing a little every day.
Okay.
So
Yeah, sure. I just want to know.
I feel like I haven't had too much trouble ranking up. I feel like it's just takes so long and so many games that it takes so long. I don't know.
Yeah, because like I wanted to know like the reason during the program. Do you want to reach masters, or you just want to get better at card games, or is there like any other motivation that might do that? So I can better understand.
I just wanted to, better know how I should think, or like, yeah, basically just get better at card games in general.
Okay, that's fine.
It would be nice to get to masters as well, or grandmasters.
Yeah, but getting there requires a lot of time. I mean, getting to master is not much matter of a skill, but it's more matter of a time. So you really have to grind these games. Like, even right now, you see, even if you win a lot, it still takes a lot. Like, it's 50,000 points just to get to masters. And it goes even harder the more you go. Because if you want to go to the grandmasters, let's assume you reach masters in next week, so you would grind 20,000, like, okay, maybe not 20,000, like, now it's at 33, I believe, so it would take 70,000 points in a week. That would be a lot, but whatever. And then to reach grandmasters, you only have September, because after September, the grandmaster ladder resets. So if you would like to reach grandmaster, that's a lot of time. Because Grandmasters is a title that is given only for 3 months, so if you, it was July, August, and September. Then after September, they will just roll back the Grandmasters, and everyone needs to do it once again. So yeah, that's a lot of things to consider.
Okay, I guess Masters is enough then. I'm not sure I have enough commitment to play that much. I don't know.
It's just a matter of commitment to the game.
Yeah. I think I just trade Lyriel into the Goblin and play Soul Squasher.
Just trade Lyriel, play Soul Squasher, and that will be it. Because both of your creatures can trade with opponent Lyriel, it's okay for you, and you don't need to use Soul Conversion.
Yeah. So I trade Goblin, right?
Yeah, trade it and kill the Goblin with the Lyriel, play the Soul Squasher, and it will be enough.
Yeah. The only thing is, if he played Angel of the Word, he basically got back tempo. I don't know.
Yeah, Angel of the World can be tricky, but you cannot play around everything. Like, sometimes you can play around cards, but it's better to assume that you play versus generic deck.
Okay. Do I trade both and then just Soul Squasher again, or do I...
You trade both, but do nothing. Because the reason is, next turn is turn 4, it's his evolution turn. So if you play nothing, he will have nothing to attack with the evolved creature. If you play the Soul Squasher, he will just play something, evolve it, and blast into your Soul Squasher. That's not what you want to do. Like, right now you have the perfect opportunity to clear his board, and be the one who gets to use aggressive evolution first. Because he plays a creature, does nothing with it, you can play Cerberus, evolve and attack into it, and then you will be in the leading position. So,
so I just trade
how it goes. Yeah, you just trade with both of them and pass. Because, like I said, he plays creature, you can trade with it, and then you will have enough shadows on the turn 6 to use your Soul Squasher. So then you'll be able to do a double trade, and once again you will regain your leading position.
Oof, Alice, that's fine.
Alice is totally fine at the moment.
Yeah. So I just serve Evil trading to Alice.
And what did he roll? I didn't see it.
There's not really any better place, I think. Unless you play like Soul Squasher and what.
Oh yeah, I see you got Hector. So Cerberus, trade, like Evo trade and sit. And the next turn, after Cerberus dies, you can just use the Mimi part, the 2 damage part, and then you will have your Soul Squasher Shadows back and ready. That depends on how he's gonna play his turn, though.
Not near Captain. That's annoying. I could Soul Squasher and the Necro Assassinate to kill the 4/6 Mountaineer. But would that be committing too much?
Yeah, it will be too much.
If I play the Soul Squasher and then Necro Assassinate to kill the 4/6 Mountaineer Captain.
Well, you can just play Odil and trade Odil into the Mountaineer, and he will be left with the just white Swan, but he doesn't have enough health. And also your Odil will survive, so that means he will have to do something about her. And you do not lose evolution point by doing so.
Okay, so that's interesting.
Because she's gonna be 6/5, third evolution, you can kill the Mountaineer, and your opponent is on 20 life, so you most likely do not care. Of course, he's gonna deal like 4 damage into your face with his white Swan, if he decides to do so, but that's still fine for you.
Phantom Cat deals 0. Okay, so he drew 2 Bloodcraft. He evolves Phantom Cat. That's a good trade for me.
Yeah, sounds like a really good trade.
Yeah, okay. Let's see. Lyra would be great. I don't have a Lyra. Actually, I could Soul Squasher the evolved Phantom Cat. Do I Necro Assassin the Soul Squasher just to kill Odette? Or do I evolve? I think I should keep the evolve, right? So I Soul Squasher Phantom Cat and then Necro Assassin the Soul Squasher to kill Odette.
Okay, so right now you have multiple options how to do current turn, and once again it's one of these more tricky turns, but you can do it in a way that will gain you enough shadows to make a really good Hector and also allows you for the Soul Squash later on. So if you want to save your evolution point, it's gonna be really hard, and probably you can manage.
I could Mimi the Phantom Cat, play Demon Eater, and just Necro the Demon Eater.
Yeah, that's one of the ways, but by doing so, you just kinda waste your draw ability, but because you have a lot of 7 drops, that's probably the play you have to do at the moment. Also because we lack time, so there is not much to do. So you can Mimi the 7/1, play Demon Eater, and then Necro Assassin. So this way you save your evolution point, you save your Soul Squasher, which is gonna help you, and you gain enough shadows to activate at least 2 zombies from the Hector.
Yeah. I also have Soul Conversion if I really need that draw.
Yeah, if you didn't have the Soul Conversion, then playing like this would be really kinda bad, so the Soul Squasher plan would be better, obviously, but because you have this Soul Conversion, then you can allow for a leeway like this, and just proceed with the things.
2 big things. Let's see. Alright, so I can Soul Squasher the 7 sector, then I'll have a 4/4. Do I? Let's see. If I Soul Squasher, I can't get the Necromancy on Death Breath, but I guess I think Soul Squasher is a better Necromancy here.
Right now, no. Right now, you should just play Hector and trade both of them. You will create 2 zombies, you will kill both of them, and you are left with Hector. That's a 5/6. And then you will have the Soul Squasher for his last evolution point. Because in this game, you will not get a big Hector. Like, it's not gonna be like this, because all of your cards are Shadow Reliant. So Death's Breath is Shadow Reliant, same goes for the Soul Squasher, that card also requires Shadow. But if he kills your Hector, then you will have exactly 4 shadows to activate it.
Yeah.
And you also save your evolution point, so you're on 10 life. That's tricky, because 10 life versus blood, especially neutral blood, that can deal some damage in terms of Hector, in terms of Phantom Cat. Like, you're lucky you didn't hit in the face for 4 from the previous one. Big at 10 life is not a great idea, but you just have to sustain somehow. So if you're able to answer the board without using evolution point, that's probably the best idea at the moment.
Alright, so he evolved a really buff ultimate card, so it's a 6-1 now. So I just
Wow, that's really
Soul
big carrot.
drew another Soul Squasher. So do I Immortal Thane, Soul Squasher the ultimate card, evolve the Soul Squasher and trade into Alice or Goblin?
Yeah, that's probably the only play that you can do at the moment. Because it will just swarm your board, so Tane and Soul Squasher is fine. Sure, you will get hit in your face for free, most likely. But,
Yeah.
like, there is no saying what's gonna happen later on. It's probably one of the best defensive plays that you can make, so you just gain a full value out of the Soul Squasher, and then the next turn, like, if you survive to the next turn, you can probably sacrifice your creatures, you can sacrifice the White King, and then the White King will give you the... or rather the Immortal Thane, and then Immortal Thane will give you the White King, and you'll get bored.
That's a lot of damage to face.
Okay. Only 2
so-
damage, that's fine.
Do I trade 1 white into... Actually, I have cool. That's fine. Do I trade 1 white into the Angelic Knight and then Soul Squasher into Goblin? And then Coco the Immortal Thane? And kill the Phantom Cat?
Okay, so once again, that's tricky, but like you explained, you trade the white with the Angelic Knight and attack with the second white into his face. Then you do the soul conversion on the other white to draw cards, so you can see options.
Okay. Oh, I got Summit Party. I don't think that helps too much though here. I feel like I Soul Squasher trade into the Goblin.
Yeah, and you buff the white with the Coco, trade the Phantom Cat, and play the like the remaining stuff.
Yeah, I Coco the Immortal Thane.
Yeah, do it.
And
Trade.
Trade. Actually, do I play Death's Breath?
Do you have enough shadows? I believe you do.
Yeah.
So just play.
I think that's better than White King.
Yeah, that's Breath of the White King. And then just play Skull Beast if you are able to. Or Soul Squasher, whatever. Like, any of them is fine. Because you will still not meet Evolved Creature unless something really weird happens.
Yeah, he played double the Razor Claw.
Oh, that's to be given. Like, he didn't draw neutral cards, and there is not too much Bloodcraft cards in his deck.
Well, I did consider getting the 7-drop, that 7 mana 6/6 restore 4 health for Necromancy, but I feel like it's too slow.
Is there even such a card?
Yeah, Orcus, I think it's called. Let's see, Orcus. Yeah, 7 play point 6/6, Necromancy 4 restore to your leader.
Okay, but with your Necromancy usage, it's probably too slow, and that's probably why it's not being played. Like, if you store Necromancy, then you are not able to utilize. You're not. And it also restores only 4 defense, so 4 defense is nothing at all. Doesn't amount to much. Like, let's assume that this double Raspberry Claw worked for life, so his Phantom Cat, one of them was for 2 and the other one was for 0. So he low rolled both of them, like one was 50-50 and the other one was for 0. So had he hit you for 2 more, this Raspberry Claw in the end would still finish you, even if you had this one. And if you consider how the shadows were utilized in this game, you wouldn't have too much of a space to play her and even restore health. So with all of the Death's Breath, the Phantom Hole, the Soul Squasher, and Ector, there's probably not much of a room to play such a card. Also, it's really slow, and versus decks that are just let's say, mid-rangey, or they are not as aggressive. If you hit turn 7, you'd rather play Ektar, you'd rather play Tain. Playing 7 mana 6/6, assuming you have enough health, is not good. Ultimately, it will just go down to grinding a lot of games. So it's how winning currently is done. So even if you win, let's say 6 per 10 games, it's still gonna progress you faster, and at your current rank you should probably gain more points per game than you are losing, at least if you are meeting good enough opponents.
Yeah,
So-
I do believe I lose like 60 or 70 and I gain 100 or something
Yeah.
if I win.
So it's still propelling you
Yeah.
towards the good direction, so it's fine.
So is neutral rune better than big shadow right now, or?
It's really arguable. That depends on how they draw. Like, if you confront both of them, like neutral rune versus shadow, and they play against each other, that is probably shifted towards the mid-range shadow at the moment. But if you go into the, let's say, neutral meta, so you take one deck, you take other deck, you go onto the ladder, then right now rune have really high win rate, and rune would probably be better by default. But right now, if you do not have cards, then like I said at the beginning, it's only 1 week before the announcement, like probably less than 1 week. So it's just better to wait a little and see how they're gonna change the classes, because that's what's gonna shape the meta.
I do have all the cards for neutral rune though. But against dragon when I'm going second, do I keep a zombie party or do I just mulligan the whole hand? Because I got 2 zombie party and serb.
You should mulligan your end, because there is no reason for you to keep zombie party. You don't want to kill his Ayala, and killing Dragon Summoner, which is 2 mana 1 and 2. It's not something you want to. Sometimes they will play Lyrial, some of them do, but it's still not worth it. You'd rather have 2-drop on your own, because if Dragon have to choose between playing a 2-drop and Oracle, they will either answer by killing your drop with their burn spell, so Breath of the Salamander or Blazing Breath, or they will ramp. So you having zombie party is like having a removal for a creature that will never come for time. So it's something that.
So I guess I played Lyrial on MP4, right? I don't play Lurching Corpse because you can just breath it.
Yep, Lyrial better.
Play breath.
In this matchup, you want to save Lurching Corpse to hit big targets.
Yeah. Okay, so he salamandered it. I guess I'll play a Soul Squasher then. Pass.
If you didn't draw anything that different that you can play on this turn, then yeah, Soul Squasher is good. I mean, not good, but it's just fine.
Yeah, better than Soul Squasher.
Hmm.
Alright, so his round is at 7 next. Do I don't suppose I evolve just to put some pressure on it.
Well, to be honest, you can do it. You can just evolve it to gain some pressure. It's not easy to do, but because you got Phantom Hole in your hand, then you can consider finishing him off with this. So you can evolve and attack him.
Okay. Do I play the second soul or do I lurching?
You should play the Lurching Corpse right now, because it forces him into uncomfortable trades. So if you play Lurching, you already have this threat on the board that you are saying like, I will kill your creature if you play it. And Soul Squasher is not a good way right now, because you want to save your Soul Squasher. You want to get use of her in this matchup.
Okay, so he configuration did.
That's fine for you.
Yeah, I don't Soul Squasher and then Demon Eater, do I? Just to... Actually, do I Phantom Howl and then just hit him for 3 and then Demon Eater it? One of the ghosts?
You do not have enough mana to do Phantom Hole and Demon Eater.
Alright, yeah, that's right.
Okay, so right now you're in a pinch. So you lack cards that you can play, you lack follow-up, and your opponent is simply ramping and doing nothing. So even though it's bad, you should do the Soul Squasher and the Monitor, because you need something in your hand. If you do not do anything at all at this turn, that will help propel you in the future turns, then you will simply lose by not gaining enough tempo. Of course, the Soul Squasher and the Monitor is no tempo at all, because you are only left with a creature that's 1/2 on the board. But it's better than nothing, because you can at least prepare for the future turns. Somehow.
Yeah. My god. Alright. Probably gonna put out the Lucifer. No, that's actually worse. Israfil.
Yeah,
Alright,
Israfil
so-
is putting a lot of damage onto you.
Yeah. So he saw how the Israfil, so now he has that. Do I don't have enough to attend it. I don't zombie party without 6, right?
No, right now you should Attendant, Soul Conversion, see what you draw, and probably trade the Leech into the Sahakil.
Alright, I didn't see the soul conversion.
It's on the very right.
So, yeah, I got another death and a soul conversion. So I guess I'll just evolve trade the Lich.
Yeah, so you will just leave him with no pressure, because sure, it's problematic for you, but well, that's a given. How the matchup goes.
Yeah.
And we both know that your Lich is gonna die, but at least maybe he will use his evolution point for it.
Yeah. Alright.
He's free to play Israfil,
Crap,
evolve it, and attack.
Yeah. I don't have a body to kill though unless I Phantom Hell with the Necro Assassin.
But
that
then
will-
you don't have enough mana to the Phantom and Necro.
Alright. God dang it. Let's see. I really need to remove it, right? So. Yeah.
You cannot remove it, but you can play Death's Breath. That will at least allow you to survive one more turn.
Yeah. I'll do that then. And then I guess we'll just pass. I don't need to.
I mean, the other way, like there's always a way. The other way would be to Phantom Hall, evolve one of them, and then trade everything, and then it's still not enough, I guess, because it's okay. It will be enough. It will be exact 10. So 5 plus evolution points, so that's 3. 4 plus 3 plus zombie party. So that
Yeah.
was one way, but obviously it's inefficient enough. Because if you use it, then you have no chance of winning later on. If he plays Grimnir right now, it's like you just lost on the spot. But
Ooh.
not all of them plays Grimnir.
That's.
Okay, Conflag also kills you on the spot.
Ooh, I have 4 health now.
Yeah, but 4 health versus Dragon, which runs Zeus's, Genesis Dragons, and all of this stuff is probably not gonna be enough.
Well, I mean, now I can Phantom Howl Necro. But like, there's not really. I could Death Breath again.
Yeah, that can probably protect you. If you use a Death's Breath and then evolve one of the zombies and use a zombie party, then
Yeah,
you will be
then,
left with 2 to freeze. So if there is any line of play that can bring you back to this game, that would be this one. Because then you doesn't die on the spot from some creatures with Storm.
I'm so glad they changed Grimnir to not their face. That was insane.
Yeah, he was extremely powerful in a sense that he was oppressive.
Yeah.
Not only he cleared board, but he also dealt 4 to the face. That was too much.
Yeah.
But-
He conflagged into the Dragoon Scyther.
okay, once again, that's enough. But 3 conflags, that's a lot to include in his deck.
Yeah.
But that's how it goes with Dragon. If there's even one turn where you lose pressure, you're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah. So, is there some kind of set mentality you should have when you play Shadow?
Should I say mentality? I mean, you should just always aim to have your board to make efficient trades, and sometimes you should go for lethal. But more than that, usually Shadow have a lot of value that's way better than the other classes. So you got Ektar, you got Tain, you got Zombie Party. All of these high value cards can bring you back in the late game. Doesn't matter when you play them, then they're gonna help you get back. So if you're able to make trades early game, then just go for the early trades. Because let's assume you would play Sword. If Sword goes for early trades, then Sword is gonna lose, because Sword doesn't have any of the comeback mechanics. Of course, Sword got Albert, but that's it. Maybe Luminous Mage to some extent. But that's not something that will give you card, that's not something that will fill your board with ward creatures. That's a lot of things that Shadow have that other classes does not. So as long as you trade everything in the early game and just go for the mid to the late game, you should be fine. Of course, that strategy have some inherited counters, so let's assume something like Dragon just did. So he ramped up, and then he was just able to bring his big minions, and he wasn't able to answer them. Then, of course, if you do not find answer for the play, it's not gonna be easy. But it's not always the case, so...
Yeah. I think I just pass here, right? I have a 2-1 Lyrial and a 1-2 Spiderweb after I've traded.
Okay, so the problem is you still do not have too much of a play for the next turn, so we should demonitor. Because the Lyrial will die to the Imp, that's fine, but you don't care about the Imp, you just care about cards. At some point of the game he might play Belphegor, so he will just draw 2 cards for himself. And because your hand is like Soul Conversion, Demonitor, you already have 2 effects that require you to sacrifice a creature. So you can sacrifice a creature right now, and the Demon Eater just won't die to the Imp. So.
The Soul Conversion, the Demon Eater too? Or
No. You just pass. Like, Soul Conversion was a card that I mentioned that you have both the Demonitor and Soul Conversion, so this was both of the cards that simply eat creatures, and you only had 1 chance right now, and you just happen to get Element of Night. That's perfect. That's a really good card at the moment.
You're right, it's kind of annoying though, because I'll be spawning a bunch of stuff soon.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I just attend and trade this and pass, right? Do we even trade?
You shouldn't hit into this one. Just
so just attend and pass?
Yeah, just play Attendant and pass the turn. For the next turn you will have multiple of options and a lot of plays that you will be able to do so. So we will see how it goes.
Blood Wolf is probably going to face.
Most likely, yeah.
Yeah, an Imp. It's a really strong early game. Evolves the Imp, probably trade into the Deep Leader. Yeah. My face hurts. Could kind of want to zombie party the Urias, then that's not. I'm not sure what to do here actually. I could try to just value with Earth, but then Urias will deal a big amount of damage to me.
Okay, but you have to consider it like this. If you play Earth on the Attendant, then it will deal like 3 damage to you. And it's the same amount of damage that the Imp will deal to you if you do not kill the 3/5 Imp. And if you do the Zombie Party on the Levin Duke, then you have not enough damage to deal with his Imp. So even though it feels bad, once again you just have to play Earth on the Attendant and then evolve the Leash to kill the 3/5. Or you can even evolve the Earth. Like there is no problem with 4/4. Both of them will be fine.
I think I actually evolved the Earth, even though the Wolf gets a better trade.
Yeah, the only problem with evolving Earth is that the Wolf will get the value trade, but even if Wolf gets value trade, then he would be happy for Wolf to hit you in the face. Obviously, most likely your opponent is just gonna go face on you.
He Scarlet into the Earth and then evolves into Lich and deals a lot of damage to face. Well, I could. Let's see. I kind of really need to remove Urias, but like, if I zombie party Urias and then Phantom Howl.
Yeah, if you do it like this, then you can trade the entire board.
I feel like that's the only way to survive this turn.
Yeah, you should, and also throw the Attendant at the 1/2, so it will give you a leech. Obviously, first use the zombie party, but that's a given.
It's enough to clear. London 7 now though. I don't have enough to Death Breath.
Yeah, you don't have enough shadows.
Played Belf and a Urias. Urias is so annoying when you're Shadow, because you spawn so many things.
Yeah, it's a really powerful card when played versus Shadow, because all of the skeletons shenanigans.
I could Soul Squasher the Belf and then evolve trade into Urias. F3, 4,
Well, but that's
actually, I could,
not a good play.
I could also evolve Serb and then Mimi the
Yeah, that's way better. So you can evolve Cerberus, kill Urius, and then deal 2 damage with the Cerberus spell to Belfegor. Because Soul Squasher is the reason she's not good is that she will take away your shadows. So your opponent right now have only 2 ways of going into your face. So it's either by going by Grand, so Dark General, Emeralda and such, or by Razorry Claws. So if he decides to go by the battlefield, then for the next turn you can have your Death's Breath. While if you play the Soul Squasher, you will have not enough shadows to use the Death's Breath efficiently, so they will not get warded. Obviously, that's assuming that you will survive the current turn, because there is also a chance that he will just burst at you. Dark General and Razorry Claw, that's enough to kill you.
Well, he played Air Jammer and got a Wolf and a Spiderweb Beam. So
Okay, it's still not the end of the world.
yeah, I could. Does this deck run the 2 play point deal 3 to everyone with the same name? Because that kind of screws over my Death Breath.
Yeah, some of them plays it, but right now we have 2 options. So if you would play Ektar, then Ektar obviously trades his entire board, and that's it, but it's still not enough. While if you play Death's Breath, then even if he does play this card, then his chances of winning are slow. I mean, this card is not common, while Dark Generals and Razorry Claw, they are for sure in his deck. So if you play Ektar, then he will just Razorry Claw, or he will just Dark General your phrase. If you play Death's Breath, then he cannot Dark General. So Death's Breath right now is just better.
Should I just play Soul Conversion just because he doesn't have any illusion points anymore?
No, don't play Soul Conversion, just play Death's Breath.
Soul Squasher, I mean.
Yeah, Soul Squasher is okay. You were just one of lethal. That's a pity.
Boss. Okay, so I'm not dead, I think. Unless, oh, never mind, he raised Cloud.
Oh, if you raise your cloud, then you're drop dead.
Yeah, I'm dead. I feel like Shadow's early game is more of a reactive part than proactive.
Yeah, it really struggles versus aggressive decks, while it's probably the best of the mid-range decks that are here. So, as long as you meet a lot of aggro decks, then it might be a problem. But if you gonna meet some mid-range decks, some control decks, such things like this, then you should be able to win more.
Okay, so it's generally just worse against aggro than the others.
It's just not perfect versus aggro if you have no pressure. So if you even mess up one turn, so luck a drop or your opponent will find a really good opener that works against you, then you will find from behind. Like if you play versus other mid-ranges, you should be always ahead because that's how your deck works. But versus aggro, unless you get some perfect lurching corpses, soul conversions, all of this stuff that stop early aggression, then it's just hard to do it like this.
Do I keep Demon Eater Lurching Corpse when I go second against Bud?
So versus Blood you can keep it. Just throw the Death's Breath.
Alright.
Because assuming he plays Imp, you can attack with your Lurching Corpse into Imp. Some of them play Disagreeable Demon in their decks, so it's also another thing that you can attack your Lurching Corpse with. And the Demon Eater obviously can trade it, so trade any creature with the help of the Lurching Corpse.
So,
He's playing aggro 1.
this is some really aggro. He plays Colorado.
Okay, so he's going first and he's going on curve. That's terrible situation for you.
I just Lurching Corpse there, right?
No, you
Hope
should,
for the best.
no, you should do the Soul Squasher right now. Because if you play Soul Squasher, then he will either trade his Demon of Love, or whatever this one is called, or he will just use removal. While if you play the Lurching Corpse, he will simply ignore it. So you get 3 damage into your face, and there is a random chance that your Demon Eater will turn into something. So right now you were just too fast with the play.
Yeah, I was. Alright, so I could trade Lurching Corpse. Actually, I should probably Demon Eater, right? Instead. Because they're all the same at the moment.
It
Actually,
feels like
Demon Eater
it,
one.
but no. You should trade and then play the Bone Chimera. Because if the Lurching Corpse hits something other than the Angelic Knight, then the Bone Chimera can trade with the Angelic Knight, and same goes for the body. Bone Chimera, when destroyed, it will leave skeletons on the board. Next turn is your evolution turn. You just want to have as many minions or as many things on the board as possible, just to remove his pressure on the board. If you had played the Demon Eater, you would be just left with the 1-2 body, he would attack into it, and nothing would change. While right now, you have a better board presence for the future turns.
Alright, so Colorado is really strong. Let's see, I trade the Chimera into this, the 2-1. And then I play... Do I Demon Eater one of the skeletons in the vault? Or...
Okay, so right now you should trade first, obviously, into his 2-1. Then, like you said, you can do the Demon Eater to eat one of the skeletons. So we'll see what you're gonna draw.
Alright. I draw Lurching Corpse and Death's Breath. I could... Actually, would it be bad to evolve Lurching Corpse and trade that with the board?
So, as for Lurching Corpse, it sounds tempting, but to be honest, it's okay, but you got Lurching Corpse and Soul Conversion for the next turn if you want to do it. So you can just do the little Soul Squasher, play it on the board as a body, and evolve your Demon Eater. Even though it doesn't have an effect, you have Death's Breath in your hand. So if you want to survive, you want to make as many shadows as possible, so you don't want to use the Soul Squasher effect. So you just want to put as many bodies as possible at the moment that are able to trade with the opponent bodies.
Alright. So I'm on 3. If he has the race trick, I understand.
Okay, sounds like you lost. Probably.
Yeah, most likely. I think I'll Lurching Corpse into Soul Conversion. Just to draw.
Yeah, do it. I mean, you are dead. Any Raspberry Claw he puts on you, so it's not like you have another option.
I mean, Blood has so much direct damage with storms and such, so Influencer, yeah.
Yeah, like anything could kill you right now, so there was no saying. Obviously, this trade right now it would be better for you if you had evolved the Soul Squasher into the Scarlet and then let just go into his face with multiple creatures, but well, it just could go on differently had you played Soul Squasher turn 2.
Yeah, would it change too much though? I feel like you wouldn't trade either way.
Yeah, but then you would play Lurching Corpse and your turn 4 would be just better.
I guess.
Also, you just have to take into account that, of course, he played Angelic Knight and you were lucky that you were able to hit the 1-2, but you will then forced to play the Bone Chimera, which wasn't as good later on, so had you had the follow-up with Easy Trade and then saving the Lurching Corpses, maybe it would go better, but there is, like, no telling right now.
Let's see. I don't keep Soul Conversion and Demon Eater, do I?
You don't want to keep both of them.
Which one do I mulligan away? I feel like Demon Eater. Mulligan the Soul Conversion.
Yeah. Soul Conversion is worse than Demon Eater, because Demon Eater, after all, is a body. Of course, Soul Conversion fits some mana turns better, but the Demon Eater, once again, is a body, is a creature that is able to do some traits, and you're playing versus Swordcraft, so you just want to keep your board as big as possible.
Yeah. I drew another Soul Conversion, that's fine. Guess I'll Soul Squasher turn 2.
Yeah, if you have nothing else to do, just do a Soul Squasher. That's fine.
Is this Ambush Sword? You played Konoichi Trainee.
It might be Ambush
I guess
Sword.
I'll just play Chimera on Curve. And then go face.
Yeah, just play Chimera. And that's it. Like, you have no other play.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm like running out of time, so this will be the last game for this one. So,
Okay.
well, we'll settle down another one on the Discord, so we can start the date. So if you have any other questions, not considering this current game, but like outside or something, just think them up and then I will answer them in the end.
Okay. I just trade Caveira, right? And then even either the skeleton and then
Yep, just trade his board, do a demonitor like you said, and then we'll see what you draw.
yeah. Do I play the second soul? Because I'll have 4 next turn if he evolves and trades. Do I keep it just in case? Or...
You should keep it. Because right now, as you see, you just draw a Soul Attendant and Attendant at Night. And the Soul Conversion, you can use it on him. Same goes for the Earth. Same goes for the Soul Squasher. So next turn he'll play something, evolve it. You will trade with one of your creatures. And then you have the Soul Squasher turn. So it's a lot of setup.
Yeah.
You don't need to waste all of your resources.
He's not gonna go face with that, is he? He actually is. Well, he pulled a quick blader and went face. I could trade skeleton with the 1/1 maid and then squash to that, but I feel like that's not worth it.
It's not.
I could also trade Demon Eater into maid and then just necro the Demon Eater to kill both.
Okay, so right now it's gonna be different than what you proposed. So you're gonna go one to the monitor into the maid, then play Attendant of Night and Soul Conversion on him. Evil of the Leech, and with the Leech get rid of the 3/3. So by doing so, you will put yourself on the 5 shadows, and if he kills anything, or you will kill anything on the next turn, you can play Death's Breath. And Death's Breath on 6, followed by Ektar, can be really devastating for Sword.
Okay, so instead of I'm thinking too much of tempo instead of the longer game.
Yeah, because Death's Breath is one of the most important cards versus Sword, because it blocks their damage entirely. They do not have something like Raspberry Claw, so if you're able to set up Death's Breath, then it's fine. And also they have to do something about the Leech, so...
Yeah, so I just play Death's Breath to build board. Then I have Ektar next turn if he can't answer. That's gross.
Sure, do it.
Let's see. 2, 4, 6. He's probably gonna evolve the war. And then trade this, maybe? Probably. Oh, whoa, he's passing. Do I just... I think I just sacrifice a skeleton just because I have to. And then Ektar. Right?
Will it be enough?
Let's see. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, yeah, it's actually exactly lethal if I evolve Ektar to trade.
Oh yeah, I see. Sure.
I think. If I counted right.
Yeah, looks like exactly lethal to me because it's 7 plus 8. So it's 15. So after we evolve Victor, it's lethal. Like I said. Well, that's actually perfect. I see no reason for your opponent to not trade at this moment. Also have 2 evolution points, so it's more like on him that he lost the game. So
yeah.
Nonetheless, you just have to profit on your opponent's mistake.
I mean, I would at least evolve the ward to, get rid of the body. But...
Yeah, to just trade something. He had 2 evolution points and he was on the verge of dying. You always have to play around Ektar on 7, if you are able to.
I mean, when you're on 15, you don't really think about dying, but
Yeah, you don't, but... Well, it's like how Ektar goes. That's how Dimension Shift Rune goes. Like, you don't think about dying, I'm on 20, and then they just go, oh, here comes some real magic, Dimension Shift, and wow, and then you die to triple turns.
Yeah, that's true. Alright. So, have enough for a pack.
Oh, good luck with your pack then.
Thank you. I got 3 silvers, 4. That's fine. Well, I've certainly learned more about what to prioritize in terms of board over tempo. 'Cause I feel like I've always played whichever gave me the most tempo, like just soul converting a evolved follower just for tempo. That's like,
Yeah, it's not always the best possible choice. I mean, when you are playing, the only thing that you should remember right now, because some players are like, oh, I'm losing, then I'm playing bad. No, it's not like this. Because, and current meta, like I explained before, playing going first have some inherited advantage. And sometimes there are some just aggro decks that will just go 1, 2, 3, 4, and you cannot beat them because of the perfect curve. And there is nothing to do about it. So sometimes it's not that you are doing something wrong, but it's just how the game is gonna be. So as long as you make good decisions, then on the long run you are supposed to win more than lose. Because after all, if you make good decisions every time, and sometimes your opponent, like this one, this was the prime example. Your opponent was doing fine, like he played some creatures, he attacked your face and such. Then the last turn, he didn't evolve, he didn't trade, and he lost. He lost just because of the one mistake. Like, if he did trade, then you wouldn't have lethal, and then the game could go in different directions. But because he didn't trade, well, then he lost. So, as long as you keep doing good decisions, that's what's gonna propel. So, you shouldn't look at the score, because some people are like, oh, okay, I'm afraid to play ranks because I will lose some score, or I lost this and this amount of points, and it applies to every game. You shouldn't look at the score, because it's not the score that plays. It goes like, if you improve as a player, your score will automatically go up. And it doesn't go the other way. The higher score doesn't mean you are better. Sometimes you have lucky draws, or your opponent's bare bat, or something like this. But so, higher score doesn't actually mean the better player. But the better player will get higher score eventually, sooner or later. So, only improving yourself will help you.
yeah, I see.
Okay, so
I was thinking like maybe neutral rune was OP now, but I guess it's just because they had the 1 to 4 curve with Alice.
neutral rune is really good right now. It's really good, but and it's probably one of the most played deck right now, according to the data. But it's only gonna last for 1 more week, because meta is definitely gonna change like after every part. But maybe they will just buff rune, or maybe they will not buff, but maybe they will nerf other classes, and rune is gonna be the same. All in all, rune just got enough good tools that it's able to have 3 archetypes that can win in tournaments. Because as you can see in Japanese Cup, the YOTCG, no idea how to spell it, whatever, and the Rage series and such, there was a Daria rune, there is a Dirt rune, and there's also the neutral rune. So it's like 3 archetypes of Daria, of rune, not of Daria, 3 archetypes of rune that can win a lot. So the class right now is just strong, because other class got nerfs. And obviously the Bloodcraft, the aggro version, is also one of the most dominating archetypes as the aggro one.
Yeah. Actually, that's the thing. Aggro bat. Is it worth to run Vampiric Fortress? Or is it too slow? Or too bricky, I've heard.
Okay, so some players play it, some doesn't. So there are some versions of the aggro, like more aggro ones, that run the Vampiric Fortress. In the current iteration, I would say the more popular build doesn't include the Vampiric Fortress. They just go with the Baphomet plan and aim for the Carabosse as a finisher. But some aggressive version still exists, and they are doing just fine. It's just sometimes you will lack setup for the bats, so Vampiric Fortress will be a dead card. So if you high roll efficiently, like you're lucky if you draws, then the Vampire Fortress is an amazing card, but if you're an unlucky player and you don't draw properly, it's not gonna work. So sometimes you just have to take risk when building like this.
Would you say it's worth to put in aggro battle, or is it too risky right now?
I would say the better build is still the more mid-range one, but if you want to go with the aggro, you either go all in or you don't, because doing like it halfway, it's not gonna cut it. So if you wanna go on the bad plan, like full on, then the fortress is okay. You just have to grind enough games to make it efficient.
Okay, I don't think I have enough for a bat deck though.
Sure, do you have any other questions? For now, at least.
I don't think so. I think I'm fine for now.
Okay, so I will just get to you through Discord. You can just tell me when you're available for the next one, so we can set it up. So I usually do like both sessions, and like I explained to you, it would be the best if we could make like 1 day break or 2 day break, depends. So you can play some games on your own and use the knowledge. I hope you learned something at least.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, and probably gain some points and such, and then we'll just go over stuff once again on the other one, and that will be it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So during your plays, or when you will blank, if you find another questions, just write them down and prepare, so I'll be free to answer them on the next one.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, great. So yeah, I'll be going, so have a good night, see ya.
Alright, bye.
Okay, that would be it for tonight. So for anyone watching on Facebook and Twitch, thanks for coming. Obviously this wasn't interactive too much for the chat, because well, that's how the sessions goes. Like I'm only attended to the one person that's trying to learn, and the chat is kinda ignored, but well, I shouldn't say ignored. Of course I have to end the transmission of this one. Okay, transmission ended. So once again, thanks for coming. Maybe you two learned something. Anyway, if you want to register to the Bagum coaching, just go for the Bagum Discord. And you can register there either as a coach, as a trainee, whatever, if you want to learn something Shadowverse. And for me, that will be it. So see you again. And the next session is probably either tomorrow, if the another trainee shows up because he didn't answer to me, or in 2 days. Tomorrow I will probably play some Elder Scrolls Legends. No idea, I have to grind the rank level to make it up 33. So, see ya, have a good night, good day, whatever, wherever you live. And, I don't know, have a good day.